The first trailer for Agatha All Along has dropped. Can't say I'm particularly excited for this one. Will the trailer win me over? Let's do this.
Another beautiful day.
Surprised to see you out here, Detective. Jane Doe. Found her down here by the water.
Cause?
Blunt force trauma.
What happened to you? I have a lead in the case, but can't shake this feeling I'm seeing it wrong.
Is this really how you see yourself? That witch is gone, leaving you trapped in her distorted spell. Claw your way out.
I miss the glory days.
She took every bit of power I had, but I can beat that witch again. Well, the gang's all here. Let's hit the road. I'm gonna walk the witch's road. The road is a death wish. Join me.
What witch in her right mind would join Agatha Harkness's coven?
Not looking for right-minded witches, as it happens.
Sweetheart, you okay?
Oh, my God! Whoa, what's she doing? Where's she going?
Alrighty, so there it is. Let me know what you thought about it down below in the comments section. I'm going to give it one more watch and then I'm going to start talking. So I went into this one not particularly excited, mildly curious as to what the show would be, but this feels like one of these projects that came out of a window of time where Disney was just announcing and greenlighting too many things, trying to populate their streaming service, but not having learned all the lessons yet because it was so early in its existence. And so WandaVision comes out. Agatha is a popular side character, and so then they rush to greenlight her own spin-off show. But the turnaround for a TV show like this is rather long. So by the time this show comes out, it will have been 3.5 years since WandaVision ended, and we've had a lot of MCU projects in that time, and leading to us to this point in time of where it feels like this is exactly the thing that the MCU does not need right now, where there's kind of this feeling of lack of focus. There's too many kind of scattershot projects, too many niche projects that feel like they're targeted at very small subcategories of the Marvel audience rather than big, broad appeal projects that are going to bring everybody together, get everybody excited again. And then we get this trailer. And in many regards, parts of it looked better and more interesting than I was thinking that it would be, since it has a darker edge to it. It's not just the comedy side of Agatha. It leans into creepy, sometimes body horror, other things like that. But having seen the trailer, it very much is exactly what I feared it was, which was a very niche project that feels like the sort of thing that Marvel's moving away from. And in a sense, it's one of a few projects in kind of this category of, let's spin off this character from this into this very, very niche project. If I watched this trailer and it didn't have Marvel attached to it, it wouldn't be a show that I would be interested in. Like, just a show about witches, that it's horror, but it's comedy. That's just not my thing at all. And there's not much of anything in this trailer that bridges the gap between witch horror comedy and Marvel Cinematic Universe what we normally think of with Marvel Cinematic Universe. Big sci-fi adventures, superheroes, things like that. You don't see the bridge, the connective tissue. You just have this witch trying to get her coven together and cracking a joke every little bit. So because I watch the Marvel Cinematic Universe, of course I'll watch it, but I'm watching it because I watched the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I'm not watching it because I saw this trailer and went, oh, that looks like something that really interests me. I would assume there'd be a large percentage of other Marvel fans that would go, it's a witch comedy. That's not for me. And there's a lot of people that have already thrown in the towel, and this seems absolutely not the project that would win them back. It's one more example of they're putting something out that feels targeted at a very niche audience rather than being for broad appeal, for the bulk of Marvel fans, something that pulls us together. And in a year where we have so few Marvel projects coming out and they're in this rebuilding phase and they're trying to restructure things, this isn't the project that you want in that year. Deadpool and Wolverine, besides being rated R, probably is a project like that has big, broad appeal. It's rated R. That does have limitations to it, but it's going to do like $1 billion. This, kind of like Echo, feels like it's going to be another one of these projects from this year that's just a little splash for a group of people. Which maybe that's it's good in its own sense of like there's not going to be much discourse surrounding it, I don't imagine. It'll just kind of happen and we'll move on. At a point in time where Marvel really needs some big wins that excites the fan base, that excites the base, that expands the audience, doesn't shrink it down into little groups. This feels like the sort of thing that will shrink it down into little groups because this is the Witch Project. That's the witch comedy. Even on a tonal level, I didn't get a good vibe for what this show is because it starts off as crime procedural. Surprise, actually, this is all in Agatha's mind. Okay, that makes sense. Gotcha. And then it's like creepy body horror and one-liner. But all of it quick enough that I didn't get a vibe for really what the flow of the show is. What's an episode like? How often are we getting jokes? Like I just didn't get a vibe for any of that. So I think it's a project that was probably destined to be in trouble from the get-go. That they were greenlighting too much, and then it's, oh, sure, an Agatha spinoff. Well, that sounds like fun. And if it had come out 6 months later, the next year, maybe it would have been soon enough. But when you're talking about 3.5 years later, it just feels like, why are we doing this? Is this going anywhere? What does this have to do with anything? Like, Wanda's already dead. Like, what's happening here? What's the purpose of any of this? So, unfortunately, I can't say I'm excited for this one, and I can't say the trailer actually shifted my excitement level. It made me go, right, it's a project I'm not really interested in. Besides, it says Marvel in the logo at the beginning. Let me know your thoughts down below. Share all that fun stuff. Hey, thank you so much for watching. Keep talking movies and TV.